Hi. Hello. Hope everyone is doing well and staying warm on this super crazy snowy day. If you're in Ontario, you know what I mean. Welcome to Google Meet Breakout Rooms, Managing Small Groups. So, this idea came to me because I was trying to manage small groups in a geography class that I was co teaching, and it was kind of a nightmare. So, I thought maybe other people might benefit from some of the things that I have experienced or some of the hacks that I've used. So, feel free to say hello if you are joining us live in the chat. Let us know where you are from. That would be awesome. So, the GEG Ontario group, we're independently run communities of educators who inspire and empower each other to meet the needs of students through technology, both in the classroom and beyond. And you can connect with us in a variety of ways through Twitter and Instagram. Some of you may have maybe on our mailing list. We also have a website and a YouTube channel where you might be watching this right now. If you sign into YouTube, you can certainly add your comments to the YouTube channel. We would I would like to acknowledge the other GEG leaders. I am just one of them. My name is Jennifer Casa-Todd. I am a teacher librarian. I'm an author. I'm a student voice amplifier from Newmarket, Ontario. I work for the York Catholic District School Board as a teacher librarian. I love that job. And these are my fellow GEG Ontario leaders who you may recognize who've provided professional learning throughout the year. We haven't really been as active because, as like you, the pandemic has really impacted all of us. So we haven't done as many things. Welcome, Carolyn. Welcome, Chantal, who is one of our leaders, is in the chat as well. So I'll ask you to moderate there, Chantal. That would be wonderful. We are always looking for other leaders, especially if you have a diverse perspective to offer. Please connect with us. We'd love to hear more about you. Like to start with a land acknowledgement from Monique Ara from the Oneida Nation. I love this. It was first introduced to me by the OECM group, an ALP. To acknowledge this land on which we stand is to acknowledge truth. To acknowledge truth is to acknowledge connection and disconnection. To acknowledge connection and disconnection is to acknowledge the nations who care for our mother. To acknowledge our mother is to acknowledge truth. To acknowledge truth is to acknowledge that truth is at the forefront of the conversation. So let's get right into it. If you are a school that has Google Premium, Google for Education Premium, you don't need this. I'm just going to tell you what to do and then you could just go. You don't need all of these hacks. So you would go to the little icon and you would create breakout rooms. It is a fantastic feature if you are just going to create breakout rooms for your kids, and it doesn't matter what group they're in, right? Just having arbitrary groups. We're going to talk about something. I'm going to put you all in a group is perfect. It's just perfect, right? So you click on that icon and you are going to set up, you're going to move people into different streams. Um, and perfect, right? One of the things that I would encourage you to do, if you have either a co-teacher in there or if you have a really strong student, I often will do this with some of my students. They're textperts, they love to do it, is I say, okay, can you set up breakout rooms for me? So that's another way to get around what I'm going to show you tonight. You would go to the person icon. Let me get rid of myself here so you can see this. You would just go to the little person icon, which is now at the bottom, and you would click on that person, the three dots, and you would add them as a co-host. And as a co-host, that person can then go into the little icon and create polls and create breakout rooms. And so that's a great solution. But if you're like me, I was working with a geography class, and the kids, we had started groups when we were in person. The kids were working on creating sustainable communities in Minecraft. So we had established groups, and I tried to do that. So the teacher was taking attendance, and I was the co host. And I was trying to put people into groups and into our set groups. We had 9 groups, and it was, I'm not going to lie, a nightmare. So after a couple of minutes, I said to the teacher, We just go back to how we did it last year, before we had breakout rooms even exist in Google Meet. And she said, "Yeah, where's that spreadsheet?" So that's what we ended up doing, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So a couple of hacks. So if you have Google Meet EDU, you can just do the breakout rooms. You don't even need to be here anymore. If you don't, and you want to do a hack, then what I would recommend is that you're going to create Google Meet links in Calendar. Okay, so I have a video for you to watch later, but basically I just want to do a live demo and hopefully that this works. So I'm going to go to Google Calendar and I'm going to go create, and I'm going to create an event. And it doesn't even matter when the event is, but I am going to call it Breakout Room 1, and then you might want to put like, so ENG 1D, for example, just so you kind of, if you needed to go back and find them, you could find them. It doesn't matter what time it is whatsoever, but it does matter that you put add Google Meet conferencing. And then you're going to get the little Meet link right here. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to highlight it and go Control C. And then what we did was we created a spreadsheet. We had group 1, group 2, group 3. We actually had where in what city they had. So we had a different column for the city. We would put the student member number members here, and then access to breakout room. So I would go breakout room 1. And then I love spreadsheets for this. I just have to drag it and it will go breakout room up to breakout room 7 for me. So I go up to breakout room 1, I click on hyperlink, and I'm now going to go Control V because remember I had copied that link from Calendar, and I'm going to hit apply. Then I'm going to go back to Calendar, save, and I'm going to do the same event. I'm doing it one more time. I'm not doing it for all of them. Breakout room 2, ENG 2D, or whatever that was, because I have the memory of a gnat. Please make sure you're putting your questions in there so I can address them. And you're going to go join with Google Meet. Again, you're going to copy that, hide it, Control C. Oops, make sure you do it right. Okay, Control C, back to my spreadsheet. Next row, inserting a hyperlink, which is right there, hover over it, Control V, and so on. You know that the hyperlink has taken because it then is underlined blue. Okay, so another step. And it feels like there are a lot of steps, but you literally only have to do this once, okay, at the beginning. So I'm going to actually click into my Google Meet. This might be a hot mess in terms of feedback. So let's see what happens. I'm going to make sure I turn that off and turn that off. And I'm going to join now. And this is where you need to make a decision about whether you're okay with your kids showing up in the breakout rooms without you, or whether you absolutely want to make sure that you have to open up the breakout rooms first. So I'm going to go to the 3 dots and I'm going to go to settings and I'm going to go to host controls and I'm going to this will be called quick access on your EDU account. Here it's called host management, but it's going to be called quick access. And so when you click that on, it means that people cannot come in, your kids cannot come in without you. There are pros and cons to this. Okay. So I'm going to click that. It's quick access. You're going to go turn it off. And that means when your kids go to the spreadsheet, so I just share the spreadsheet. We shared our spreadsheet every morning. We said, "Good morning. How's it going? Do you have any questions? Do you have your roles? Do you know what you're doing?" We gave them link to the spreadsheet. They went into the breakout room and we had not turned off quick access, which means that our kids just went into the breakout rooms on their own. And then we told them that we would be jumping in and out. And so they had no idea when we would be coming in and out. So there was a little bit of accountability there. Okay. So I know it sounds like a lot of steps, but your first step is to create all of the meeting links in Google Calendar. And then what I did was I just created a Google spreadsheet in order to populate that. Okay. The other thing I want you to pay attention to, some of the things that were successful for us is that number one, we established breakout room norms. So, especially for us, because we were not going to turn off quick access, we were going to have our kids just jump into those breakout rooms. And I wasn't necessarily going to be there. We had to be very clear about our expectations. Now, I teach high school, but I say as long as you're very clear about your expectations, it works. The second thing you want to do is make sure that you get the Chrome extension called Mute Tab. And that's really important because I stayed in my main room and left that tab open. But then when I wanted to go into other rooms, if there are more than one person talking, I wanted to mute the tab. So what does that look like? And there's the quick access I was showing you. So I'm going to go to the Google Chrome store and I'm going to put in Mute Tab. And this is the one that I have. And I'm just going to add it to Chrome. And so if I was on a Google Meet and I was in here with these kids, then I would just click my mute tab as soon as it gets on there, and I couldn't hear what's in here. Now, I know a couple of teachers who've tried this, and what they did, and again, this is your personal comfort. I have two screens. So just let's go back to this groups demo for a second while that does its own thing. Or maybe my computer's just going to crash here. Come on. I think it has too many things are going on at once. So I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to just get out of that for a second. So I'm going to go back to this demo. And one of the teachers was like, I don't feel comfortable. I feel like I really need all the kids, like I need them all on one screen. So I said, okay, go to exit full screen. And you're going to make your this a little bit smaller. And then you're going to open up your breakout room and you're going to click and drag. And you're going to make it smaller. And she joined all of them and then just put mute tab. And so she had it here. She joined, turned off the camera just so kids physically saw that she was there. So this is what it would look like if you go into breakout room 2. Again, I'm going to click, I'm going to hold, and I'm going to pull it out, and I'm going to make it smaller. So that's what my beautiful friend Tatiana, who just wanted to see all of them there, and that's absolutely perfect. That's what she did. She created all the breakout rooms, and she just had them open like that, or was able to jump in and out, and made sure that she muted all the tabs, and she had her microphone muted and her video muted. Okay, that's definitely an option. So I'm gonna just exit out of these things. I know I'm going quickly, and so this is on YouTube. You can just rewind and watch it again if you want to. Okay, so essentially, you are making all of your things in Google Calendar. You are adding them to a spreadsheet, but here's another option. This was created by Miss Park. And then so she had created this. It doesn't look like this. I changed the look of it. But I thought, oh, maybe I want it to look like actual doors. Okay. So I decided that I created this. And again, you have access to this presentation. I don't know if you saw, if you go to bit.ly/GEG on January, this is a template you can use. Okay, it does keep people accountable, Chantal. Thank you for sharing that. So here's this beautiful template that she created. You could just literally go to File, make a copy when you get there, and just copy that slide. Okay, so you're going to copy this slide if you like the doors look. You'll notice that the norms are right at the bottom. It says we use respectful language, we participate actively, we listen to each other, we stay on task, the teacher will pop in and out. Ensure your mic and camera are on so you can talk with your group, though lately kids haven't necessarily been keeping their cameras on. All right, so how do I mean, it's obvious on a Google Sheet how I can hyperlink. How can I hyperlink on doors and images? So basically, this is a hack that I learned a long time ago. I don't know from where, maybe Tina Zita. I go to shape and I pick a rectangle or whatever shape you want. I'm going to make the rectangle the entire length of the breakout room because kids might click not necessarily on where it says breakout room 2. They might click anywhere. So then I'm going to go to the fill color and I'm going to make it transparent. And I'm going to go to the line color and I'm also going to make it transparent. So kids can't actually see that there's a hyperlink there, but when it's in present mode, whenever they click on it, they'll be able to see it. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my Google Calendar link. And here was my breakout room 2, right? So let me go back to breakout room 1 just so I'm not confusing myself here. Okay, so there's breakout room 1. And I'm going to grab that link underneath. I'm going to highlight, Control C. I'm going to go back here and I am going to now make sure that I've isolated that square. I'm going to go to the 3 dots and I'm going to add a hyperlink, Control V, and apply. So now, and the reason I do it on top is because I want it in present mode. So let's go to slideshow. When it's in present mode, when a kid clicks on it, it's going to take them to that breakout room. And as a teacher, again, I can jump in and out of the rooms. Okay, this one accommodates 5. You could easily make your own. You could have little icons. Maybe your groups have little logos or, the cities. You can just literally use a Google slide. You can have the shapes. And as long as you put the shape over top, it could be any shape, and hyperlink it, then in present mode, your kids will be able to access it, right? So if my shape was a circle, I would do the exact same thing. I would take the circle and imagine this was a funky little thing. I would just, again, transparent and transparent. And then I would grab the breakout room 2. And again, so once this is a lot of work up front, I'm not going to lie. But now once I've created these rooms, I don't have to do anything else. Okay. I basically use these breakout rooms for all 3 of my classes. I'll show you on a spreadsheet what this looks like. So again, I'm going to go to the 3 dots and I'm going to click on the hyperlink and I'm going to go Control V. And now if there was a circle thing here, again, in present mode, the kids could go right there, which I love. When I'm in my spreadsheet, I can just click on that and I can go duplicate. And now I'm going to rename my spreadsheet. So once I have all of my breakout rooms done, we went class A and then we renamed the bottom to class B, because they're never going to be in the breakout rooms at the same time, right? So you can, again, duplicate and then create your class C. And you're noticing that the hyperlinks stay. I would do this at the beginning once you have all of your breakout rooms set up, because then what you're going to do is then what I did with my students is I gave them editing access to this so they can put themselves in a group. And then at the bottom, I put, just put me in a group. I want to meet new people. And that's it. And like I said, I had to create 7 calendar events to begin with, but then once they were done, they were done. The other thing I wanted to include are some templates that I use sometimes for group work. So sometimes I find kids get into a breakout room and they actually have no idea what to do when they're in there until I show up and they go, oh, we didn't know what we had to do. So there is a group of 4 template here and a group of 3 template. They're Jamboard templates, and they basically are group work roles. So kids could put their notes when they're in a group together, and then when they come back, they can share. And the great thing about Jamboard is when I click on the top, I can actually see what all the kids are doing. So I might not necessarily be in a group with the kids, but because they're all working on their respective Jamboard templates, I can see what's happening and who's writing and who might need support. And then I can jump into the breakout room as needed. Okay, I know I shared a lot. If you are here live and you have any questions, I would be happy to answer them. If you are watching this as a broadcast after the fact, please also put in your comment and one of us from the GEG Ontario group will get back to you. So are there any questions right now? I don't see any. All right. I always appreciate your feedback. So if you go to bit.ly/JCT feedback, you can give me some information about how I can improve this. You can find me. I blog at jcassatodd.com. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at jcassatodd. I recently published a book for parents called Raising Digital Leaders. So you can find that on Instagram as well. And I hope to run into you soon. I look forward to and continue to look at our GEG information for other professional learning opportunities. Stay warm, stay well. Bye, everybody.